Okay, I have the daily guide here. Everyone seems to be talking about this Judge Kuju involved in the Abronye case. Just listen to the description on the front page of the daily guide. Animal farm judge grants Abronye 50,000 bail. And so that's been, the sentiment from quite a number of legal luminaries raising concerns about his statement that some people are more equal in our state, and of course it's a reason for which it's been trending a lot. But finally, Abronye is out, and we understand that the bail condition comes with that monetary term of 50,000 Ghana cedis. Asante funeral rites starts, so of course a lot will be happening in the Ashanti region throughout the week. NPP elders set up committee to monitor the presidential campaign, and we understand that there are 5 in all, so they will be helping the party to weather the storm until January 31st. Well, of course, the NPP will go to the polls to select their flag bearer. Gold Board donates 5 million Ghana cedis and also pickups to fight illegal mining. I believe lots is coming up in the space with the Catholic bishops now asking for government to declare a state of emergency. I'm sure that there's quite a lot up the sleeves of government. So these are some of the stories you'd find when you grab a copy of the Daily Guide this morning.
Now, if you go to the Ghanaian Times, I want to start with the back page, and Prof, you will see is advocating groundwater monitoring systems to track quality trends. Prof is a geoscientist at the University of Mines and Technology in Acquah in the Western region, and he says that we need to monitor our groundwater systems to ensure that they are safe for us. And he's saying this because our surface water bodies, most of them have been contaminated, with galamsey being the lead cause of the contamination. So he says we should also be monitoring groundwater to ensure that if you are not getting quality surface water to treat and use, at least the groundwater can save us. Now, the front page of the Ghanaian Times, government opens design competition for missions abroad. This is the foreign minister. They want standard design for Ghana's missions abroad. So there's an architectural competition that has been opened to all interested architects and professionals to submit their designs. Now, 273 million Ghana cedis earmarked for strengthening foundation learning. This is the education minister. And the lands ministry gets 5 million Ghana cedis and 5 new pickups to fight galamsey. And this is from the Gold Board. They've donated this to the Ministry of Lands. And land guards on rampage attack resident estate developers at Adenta, New Legon.
The National Enquirer says Accra hosts first ever Ghana-China Climate Summit today. Government unveils 13.9 billion infrastructure plan projected to hit 21 billion by 2028. Gold Board donates 5 million cities and vehicles to fight illegal mining. Now, widow drags MTN to ATC Ghana over payment of must on late husband's land. And 23 NDC 2024 parliamentary candidates petition President Mahama for appointments. They say that they actually fought in areas held by the NPP. They did very well. So, in the midst of their sacrifice, they must be compensated. And that's what they're petitioning the president.
Reinforcing the idea that an appointment is a reward.
Yes, in our part of the world, it's a reward for what you did yesterday.
Okay. So once you are given the appointment, there's no expectation of you to work because it's a reward.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but in one way or the other, you'd want some appointments to be a reward, isn't it? It happens in the political system.
No, it doesn't. Not in every part of the world.
I mean, every part of the world, actually.
Not in every part of the world.
Because my view is, yes, you can't be rewarded with an appointment, except to say that when you have systems effectively working, then we hold you strictly to those KPIs. If you're not able to function, then of course the political cost was setting, which is for us to kick you out of government.
If you are being held to KPIs, then you are not enjoying a reward. You are carrying out a duty.
But one way or the other,
you are being held to KPIs. Look, there are people who are multi-millionaires who are appointed to hold ministerial positions in the UK, to hold what's it called? What do they call them in the US? Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Housing. They are multi-millionaires, billionaires.
And you think they don't benefit from those positions? They don't cut deals.
They are not appointed.
They don't do things to enhance their private businesses.
How is that a reward?
So are you saying the reward is in the benefits that people get?
Are you saying that is why they are appointed?
Well,
are you saying that is why they are appointed? For those things? Trump, Elon Musk. Elon was active in Trump's campaign. Did he do that because he was just a good Samaritan?
No, absolutely not. He appointed Elon Musk because he expected that Elon Musk would be able to do something that would help him, Trump. He would be able to bring some organization to government business to aid Trump. And when it didn't work out, what happened?
Not because Elon had contributed to his campaign and his gains, and that he needed to.
How was it a reward for Elon Musk to be given another job?
Okay, so the same scenario.
I'm not saying that people don't benefit from their jobs. You and I, we benefit from our jobs.
Good,
right? So that doesn't make our job a reward.
Okay.
It wasn't given to us because we had worked somewhere and earned a reward from this job. No, in fact, we work far more than we benefit.
If I get you.
So in very simple terms, look, an appointment to a position in government should never be seen as a reward, especially not by the appointee.
It depends on the ideology.
So hold on, let me just make this point. Now let me just make this point. You see, where an appointee tells you that because of the work I did, people expected me to get a juicier appointment. This is the mentality. He says, because of the work I did, many of you expected me to get a more juicy appointment. The moment he introduces that, he's telling you that what he was interested in, or what he's interested in, is what the perks, like we say in Ghana, that comes with a rule.
Juicy.
He expected a very juicy appointment.
Okay.
And many of you expected him to get same. So this is where I understand it. Everybody who's appointed, of course you're going to be paid by the state. So you're going to get something. You get a thing or two. But unfortunately, in a situation, people clamor for these appointments not because they're going to work. Many of the people who fight for these appointments, they're fighting because they think that they did something for the political party to get into office. So it's time for them to reap, not by way of service to the nation, but by way of service to their pockets.
And we have the ultimate power, in my view, to kick them out when the opportunity presents itself.
So you see, our democracy will forever be.
Kojo, it's not just our democracy. If I may, even in the private sector, these things do happen.
If I may, I wanted to
at the highest level.
I wanted to respond to what Blizzard said.
Yeah.
So our democracy will forever be come and mess up, and then we'll punish you by sending you back where you came from.
It's not necessarily about messing up.
But that's what you're saying.
There's a political
let them come and mess up.
Okay, let's go.
And then after they mess up, we let them
to settle. I mean, the base point of politics is about economics, right? And the sharing of the national cake. So whichever system you build,
are you not hearing what's wrong with what you're saying?
I mean, it's not wrong.
I'm not saying that's not the reality.
That's the base.
I'm not saying that's not the reality, but I'm saying that's what's wrong with the reality. Kojo had a point. Sorry, Kojo had a point he wanted to make.
No, let's get to the next step.
I think we should come back to this conversation. Actually, it shouldn't. In the studio, it's like we're split 2-2, right? So let's bring the audience in. Let's hear what they think about it. Okay, as soon as we can, let's open the lines and hear. Is an appointment a reward or a duty? That's the question.
Great question. It's happening in politics. It's happening in the church. It's happening in the mosque. It's happening in the workplace.
Yeah. Okay. The Daily Gist. Abronye judge must go again. That big story you'd find on the Daily Gist. Baumia begs for NPP sins, asking Ghanaians to give him a chance. And then we've all seen that video go viral on social media. But looks like the Daily Gist is talking about it with the General Mosquito himself, Asiodun Ketia. I mean, reportedly, according to the Daily Gist, that's sort of a signal that he will be running for the top job in the NDC as the party's flag bearer. But we haven't heard a word from the chairman of the National Democratic Congress yet. So we wait to see if those videos are anything to go by. If it is, then Asiodun Ketia might be in the race for the presidency come 2028. And the sad story of Apostle Kojo Safo dying at 77 is on the front page of the Daily Gist. And Minority takes on President John Dramani Mahama over a U.S. deportee deal.
Now, if you go to the New Finder, fuel prices set to rise today as CD weakens. That story is on page 12 of the New Finder. GSE rises on bank gains, and T-bill auction falls short. Investors turn to short-term debts. That's also the New Finder. And CD among the world's top performers. This is also a story on page 12 of the New Finder.
Well, the Daybreak talks about Goldball donating 5 million cedis, 5 pickers for galamsey operations. And Abronye judge bows out amid controversy. Open petition to Mahama, resetting national leadership crisis of the Islamic religion. I think that's Razak Poku. And yes, that's it for the Daybreak newspaper.
All right, then. Let's get on with the online headlines.
My Joy Online, Mahama must act now. Bishops' Conference say galamsey threatens Ghana's soul. And more on that. Delay is betrayal. Catholic bishops demand state of emergency over galamsey. And running for presidency in Ghana now costs $200 million. This is according to CDD Ghana. And sad story, 5 dead, 12 injured in fatal Wakrum Junction crash. And State of Democracy, Africa's youth movement speak with one voice of economic justice. Now on oral principles strongly undergird my decisions as foreign minister. This is Okudzeto Ablaka speaking. And Ghana's economic recovery gains momentum as BOG signals confidence in outlook. Now, UTAG UG warns of mass deaths if galamsey is not stopped. That's also on my Joy Online. If you go to City Newsroom, CDD Ghana founder proposes 10 reforms for national development, and ECOWAS is to deploy 1,650 standby force for counter-terrorism in 2026. And the cost of winning Ghana's presidency is also here. It is now $200 million according to CDD Ghana, and effective decentralization is key to Ghana's development. Dr. Acquah of CDD Ghana fame. So those are some of the stories on City Newsroom. There's also one more on road carnage. 4 dead, 12 injured in accident near Yamransa. We need to be really careful on our roads.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the stories from the online portals.
You know, the talk about elections costing $200 million. And there's something, I was in a program with Dr. Kojo Farijan, I think it was last year at the University of Professional Studies, Accra. He talked about how political parties, while in opposition, supports the state financing of political parties. And once they get into government, they forget about it. But this is the problem. And this is why there's corruption in this country so much. Because anybody who gives you money to run for elections, when you win, or if you win, that person expects a payback.
Yep.
And so many of these persons are the beneficiaries of contracts. Are you therefore surprised that in this country, and the building man is here, you construct a road that in other jurisdictions lasts 25 years?
And it lasts 3 months in Ghana.
Like the Lakeside Road, I used it last night,
Yes.
and it was just terrible.
All our problems in this country can be traced to elections and money for the next election. So everybody wants to be in a place where there's procurement. Recently, someone complained to me. He told me, my brother, won't you people talk some for me? I said, what is the problem? He said, oh, look at my goods and services budget. It's very low. I can't do anything. I said, what do you want to do? He said, but you know. What do you know? That's our mentality. And that's the problem. Because at every point in time, that person who's been put in a whatever position,
Who has been rewarded with a position?
Who has been rewarded with a position?
that's what he thinks about. So the next moment is looking for avenues where he can make something. Because trust me, look, I know a former member of parliament. He was a teacher. One day he told me that, do you know why even when we lose, we still want to come to parliament? Where do I go from here? I said, but you can go back and teach. He says, no. But today that is changing, actually. I've seen Prince Amma. He's gone back to the classroom. He's gone back to the University of Education, Winneba. He's teaching. Until we realize that the positions you're giving is a service position.
Yeah.
But also, having said that also, it's important we come up with programs and policies that can help create jobs and make the people better. Otherwise, they will line up in your house every morning. And if they line up in your house every morning, where will you get the money from?
Yeah.
That's the
So
other problem.
there is a whole general mentality around appointments, right? That once you are appointed, you are rich. That's why people mass up at your door looking for handouts, because their expectation is that you've been given a political appointment, therefore you are now wealthy. And those who are given political appointments are not doing anything to change that perception.
But they do get wealthy.
So that's my point. Are they getting wealthy by just doing their job? Or are they getting wealthy by doing things that they shouldn't do? Because if it's by doing things that they shouldn't do, then we have a responsibility to start changing that mindset, so that when they go there, they don't first of all feel the pressure to do what they shouldn't do. And secondly, they don't get the pressure from people who expect handouts because they assume that they've made money from a political appointment. Is it a duty or is it a reward?
So, Kojo, why don't we diagnose the problem by looking at the people? Every political decision, or most political decisions, will be driven by opinion, right? So if you have lots and lots of Ghanaians having appetites for vote buying, you're not going to be solving the problem anytime soon, because your competitor, on the other hand, may play a superior game at that and get into power. So if you're talking about reward, it's largely because there's a political cost of not rewarding this individual and satisfying your political constituency.
This is why we have to open up this conversation to our listeners. Okay, so